on to item D, consideration of resolution number 2009-01 entitled Resolution Setting New Fees for the Rental of the Chautauqua Building and Shelter House. Adam, would you like to talk to that?
Sure. This actually comes from the Park Board. The Park Board, as you might remember from our previous council meetings, has been discussing this off and on for a couple of months. I kind of gave you a heads up that this would likely be coming to you pretty soon. What they are presenting is basically a change to the way we do our Chautauqua Building rental fees and a cost change for the shelter house. Talk about the shelter house first because it's the easiest. Currently we're at $25 for rental and $25 for deposit, $25 for rental and $50 for deposit. And under this new measure that they're recommending to us, it would be $30 for rental and $30 for deposit. Is how they're setting up for the shelter building. On the Chautauqua Building, what they are presenting is something that we've talked a little bit about in the past, and that is two different fee structures depending on how you are classified. Most entities would fall under a flat fee of $150. Their recommendation is actually doing away with the partitioning of the Chautauqua Building. In other words, no longer offering a quarter or a half rental, but only offering it as, or even renting out the kitchen, yes or no. But just offering a flat rate that would include the kitchen and the entire building, that rental would be $150. The deposit for that would now be a flat $150 deposit. Right now there are two separate deposits that we are collecting. In the case of an entity that either qualifies, can basically present paperwork to us that shows that they qualify as either a 501c3 company or a school or a church entity, that those would qualify for a $50 rental charge. They would still have to pay the $150 returnable deposit, but they would only be paying a rental charge of $50 for the Chautauqua Building. That would, of course, include full encompassing use of the Chautauqua Building in their circumstances.
How many of our previous renters fall under that 501c?
Actually, in taking a look at it, there was roughly 15 to 20% would fall into that classification.
And the reason that this all came about is because maintenance of that building is expensive, and we have no way to generate the funds, and these little bitty fees just don't generate enough money to try to keep up.
A lot of times a non-profit we'd vote.
You'd reimburse them their money.
Yeah.
Right.
And wait for it. I've talked to a couple non-profits, and they want to use it, so we need it. And the Park Board is planning on doing some volunteers. We're going to paint the entire inside this spring, and starting the outside too. So Larry Burton, Earl German, and the rest of Park Board members.
That was the focus of our Sac County endowment application.
If there are no further questions or concerns about that change, I would entertain a motion.
I'll make the motion to approve the changes in the resolution for the Chautauqua Building and Shelter House.
Call for a second.
I'll second that.
I call for a vote.
Councilman Frederick?
Yes.
Hanson?
Yes.
Johnston?
Yes.
Lefka?
Yes.
Rennie?
Yes.
Motion carried.